Cinema Classics is sponsored by the Gateway Film Center and is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to shows online at WCBE.org. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
It is.
And it's time to talk about legit classics.
Yeah, let's open up a party conversation with asking people what they think of the National Film Registry.
Do you think people know what that is?
I don't think they do at all. That's why we're here.
It's every year you hear on the news, you'll hear this little, this little tidbit about the Library of Congress, accepting films into its film library.
Yeah.
Right, or its film collection.
Yeah.
And it's a special honor because it means this film, for one reason or another, is of historical importance.
Well, let me tell you what their purpose is.
Yeah, what is their purpose?
Okay, showcasing the range and diversity of American film heritage to increase awareness for its preservation. Now, an important word here is preservation. This is something Martin Scorsese would be interested in. Right. So not only is it to show you the range, for instance, the 25 that they have this year emphasize 7 people of color.
Yeah.
First time that many.
Definitely the Library of Congress, or the National Film Registry, as it were, turning its eye to often overlooked groups.
Yeah.
And,
so it's not necessarily that these were the best movies of the year or of any year that they're talking about.
Right.
They want to preserve it as an indication of the diversity of our culture.
Love it.
And they want to preserve it because so many were in celluloid. And they need to...
So let's talk about some of them.
All right.
I'm with you.
All right. So, all right, this year, the 25 this year, I have a few that I'm favorable to.
Yeah.
The Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm favorable to that because it's not necessarily a great movie. They're trying to get money, I think, for some school that they once attended.
Yeah.
But their outfits alone are iconic.
Very iconic. And, one of the better films from John Landis, who was, for a while there, like the Rob Reiner of his time.
Good one.
He made American Werewolf in London, which is one of my favorite movies. But yeah, Blues Brothers. And so it's nice to have a Belushi film in there. I'm sure Animal House is in there somewhere. But
And I've got an all-time favorite in there for me, and then we'll cut to yours.
Yeah.
Which would be A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, of course.
If only for the sequence of Singing in the Rain, and that just is just anybody who looks at that, and Malcolm McDowell and those eyes and that menace.
It's still a very unsettling movie.
It is.
It's unsettling even, I haven't seen it in many years, but when I sit and just think about it, the sort of feeling that comes over me just remembering images from the movie and the tone of it.
Oh yeah.
Is a very unsettling tone.
Yes, it is. How about you?
So yeah, I mean there are a couple of big ones on here. I did want to talk a little bit more about the diversity.
Yeah.
One, they look back again, not maybe a great movie, but I think this person always deserves being noted. Is Sidney Poitier.
I know. I knew it.
And Lilies of the Field,
which is really a kind of soft movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is like you said. It's not a great movie, but it bears. We can't forget about Sidney Poitier and what he meant to American film.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just reading an interview with Danny Glover and how he was saying, a lot of the black and brown faces that we see now owe a great deal to their inclusion in the industry because of Sidney Poitier. So I love that it's in here. There's a couple other things in here. Losing Ground, a movie from 1982, which was the first movie directed by an African-American woman.
Good one.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And another classic actress who was also a director, and not a lot of people know about her career, is Ida Lupino.
Oh my God, good. Yeah.
And she's got a movie in here from 1950 called Outrage, which actually examines rape. Consequences of rape and the trauma.
Excellent.
And I guess she made the movie because she was at a party with Roberto Rossellini, and he asked her, "When are you going to make a movie about real people?" And that stuck with her, and she made this movie.
Surely one of the outstanding of the 25 this year would be The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
When you're talking about really good movies, and not just culturally diverse or whatever, this is just solid stuff.
And definitely an influential, impactful movie.
Yeah.
It helps to include a movie like this in the list because not only does it legitimize it in some ways, but it just underscores the cultural relevance
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. You know, we're still talking about the
And
Dark
you were
Knight.
talking about female directors. Catherine Bigelow's Hurt Locker is in here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of the first ones to bring that really to the forefront when she won the Oscar that year.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a fun one on here. Grease.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big difference between him then and him now.
Yeah, maybe that's why they included it. John Travolta with hair,
Oh, my gosh.
and now anytime you see him, it's any one of a number of rugs that he carries with him, right?
Well, before we finish, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to include this one.
Mm-hmm.
For maybe sentimental reasons.
Yeah, what's that?
The Man with the Golden Arm,
Oh,
Frank Sinatra.
yeah.
Now, I was around when Sinatra made his comeback,
Mm-hmm.
and when we realized this guy was not just a great singer, he was a great performer.
Yeah.
And this is he plays the druggie in this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a super job. And you suddenly stand back and say, how many gifts is a person given?
Yeah,
And
right.
he's even, might have been a member of the mob. That's the third. It's no.
I don't know.
Anyway, we get any more?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give you an editing headache, so we should probably wrap up. One for the kids, though, Shrek is
Oh,
in there.
Shrek is in there.
And again, talk about an influential movie that spawned so many sequels and stuff like that. So, the National Film Registry, I always do, I always forget about it, and then I hear
I know.
they released the list, and of course, it's always worth visiting and seeing what you've missed.
I'm reading a novel now called The Electric Hotel, and it's about the early days of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fiction, but it does have all the names that we know at that time. But one of the points it makes is that 75% of the old movies are gone.
Yeah.
And they're either lost, but mostly they just disintegrated over the years.
Right. The
So,
film stock. Just
Yeah, so
disintegrated.
that's why the National Registry is important to me beyond pointing out movies that we may have forgotten.
Couldn't agree more.